All right. So just a quick introduction before Chidi comes on. This is just about the book we're studying into. Is the finding meaning and direction in a changing world. Just a perfect book for a pandemic environment. How do we find direction? And we did an introduction last week, or an overview rather, talking about the four purposes. And here is just an overview, right? It's we all come in here all curious, trying to find things. Then as we get almost like we're about to explode, then we start getting concerned about what people think about us. And that kind of caves us in and prevents us from being the fullness of what God wants us to be, right? When we think about purpose, it's not about the houses we have, the that we humans, we come in here in infancy and we're seekers, we're curious, you know, the one we are born, right? Our brain goes through a developing process. While we're in conception in the womb, we're taking everything without exception. Every stimulus that comes to a child from conception is taken without restriction. And that continues when we're born up till about 5 years old.
Or plantain.
Up till about 5 to 7 years old, right? Because about 5 to 7 years old, our frontal lobe gets developed. Our frontal lobe is the gateway to the brain. That frontal lobe start beginning to ask questions. So that's why a child at about 5 to 7 start becoming curious. But before then, he takes in everything, right, without exception. But at about 5 to 7, he begins to ask questions because the frontal lobe is developed and begins to be a gate that is determined to be. That could either prevent us, depending on how the curiosity of the child is received, that could either limit the child or release the child. So Chidi, you have it. Go ahead. You have.
Okay, yeah, my name is Chidi. Mix of challenges and adversity. And the difficulty we encounter is actually more of a spiritual weightlifting, to get us to the desired life. So whether we like it or not, we need to understand that for us to have easy life means we won't have, kind of responsibilities, marriages, and the like. But taking responsibility of past action helps to create the avenue for making new and right living. So there are rules and laws, which, as we know, they are natural laws. So the things that we have the rules in sciences as well. Those are the things that help us to really build ourselves. And those laws are based on action and consequences rather than moral. There have been argument, I'm quoting the Millian, there have been argument that the moral aspect of the rule or law actually came from human beings, human beings built the moral aspect of it. And as we know, rules create a reality-based approach to living. And if we're going to be living like peaceful warriors, we have to go according to rules of the law. And the alignment will let us learn, grow, and evolve with grace. So just going straight to there's a whole lot, but, we don't have so much of time. One thing we need to understand is the way the nature of our life is such that we have trees which have to have strong roots, but flexible branches to be able to withstand and be resilient to powerful wind in whatever direction they come. And so the rules or the subjects are what will help us, to ensure that we align to reality and evolve accordingly. So, and there are 12 of them, for which are the self-worth, discipline, well-being, money, mind, intuition, emotion, courage, self-knowledge, sexuality, love, and service. Life is full of opportunity and choices, and we indulge based on our perception of life and what we want out of it. And life is shaped by our daily actions. So starting with the first one, which is the foundation of self-worth, basically gets us to getting out of our own way. And like we've all heard that we shall ask and we will receive. There is a whole lot of abundance in life. Just like when it's raining and you go out with a cup to fetch water, that's what you will have. But if you have the self-worth of, higher calling, you will seek to get better and bigger achievement in terms of what comes out of it. It tells us that low self-worth is a primary cause of sabotage, difficulties, and challenges we will face, because most times we don't put ourselves in the right perspective to gain higher horizons or larger life. So the next one is the roots of will, and this is what drives us towards discipline. Basically, it is the transformation of knowledge into action. It gives us the willpower, which helps, in our application of our thinking. And there's a common saying that some people think without acting, while others act without thinking. And having the will help us, in being able to, tackle the daily challenges we face.